Have you ever heard of a human and a fox getting married? Long ago, in Zhili province, there lived a wealthy landowner, a man of status and refinement, and he was seeking a tutor for his children. One day, a young scholar came knocking. He introduced himself as Mr. Hu. Well-spoken, quick-witted, with a cheerful air that made conversation flow like a stream. The host welcomed him in and after a brief chat, offered him the job. Mr. Hu began teaching the very next day, and teach he did. Mr. Hu's knowledge was vast, his dedication beyond reproach. He was no ordinary scholar. But there was one peculiar thing about him. He often slipped out of the house for long walks and would return very late, and yet no one ever saw him enter. The doors remained locked, the latches untouched, and still, there he would be, sitting at his desk every morning. The host began to wonder. Tales of fox spirits were not uncommon, and something about Mr. Hu, his mystery, his elegance, his quiet charm, it seemed otherworldly. Still, Mr. Hu had done no harm, was a good teacher, and going out for a walk is no great crime. If he was a fox spirit, then he wasn't a mischievous one, thought the host. And so life went on as always. After a while, Mr. Hu grew fond of more than just books. He had taken a liking to the host's daughter, an elegant young lady, gentle and bright. He hinted, more than once, at his desire to marry her. The host never gave a clear answer. Then one day, Mr. Hu took leave, and the very next day, a new visitor arrived. A man of 50 or so, with a dignified manner and tidy clothes. He tied a large black donkey at the gate, then entered the home. After exchanging pleasantries, he got to the point. He said he was a friend of Mr. Hu's, and he was there, on Mr. Hu's behalf, to propose marriage. The host was silent for a moment, then said gently, "Mr. Hu and I are friends. Marriage is not necessary to deepen that bond. Besides, my daughter is already promised to another." The visitor raised an eyebrow. "So she is not yet married? Why the refusal? Mr. Hu comes from a noble family. Is he not good enough for your daughter?" Sighing, the host gave a firm but calm reply. "It is not his background I question. It's that he is not human." The visitor's expression darkened, and he left. But he left behind his donkey. Curious, the host approached. The beast was large and black, with long ears and a twitching tail. But no matter who pulled, it would not budge. Then, someone gave it a push, and it collapsed immediately with a puff, leaving behind only a wriggling bug. The host grew uneasy. He feared vengeance, and rightly so. The next day, they came, fox soldiers, mounted on steeds, armed with swords and bows, shouting war crimes that echoed across the sky. They surrounded the estate, threatening to burn it to the ground. Panic swept through the household, but one brave servant rallied the others, and they burst forth to fight. A wild skirmish broke out, and the fox soldiers retreated, but not without leaving behind their weapons that shimmered like silver frost. Upon inspection, the weapons were nothing more than leaves. The servants, shocked at this, let out a nervous laugh, but they stayed alert. A few days later, as they relaxed, a thunderous crash shattered the quiet. From the heavens, a giant launched towards them, waving a blade the size of a door. Servants pelted it with stones and arrows. At last it collapsed. Rushing over, they discovered it was just a scarecrow, brought to life with the fox's magic. Again they laughed, and again they stayed alert. For 3 days all was still. Then came the ambush. As the host stepped outside, a volley of arrows flew from the bushes. One struck him square in the buttocks. He screamed and servants drove the foxes off. But the arrow? It was just a stick of wormwood. And so it went on and on. Trickery, skirmishes, shouts in the night. No great harm, but no peace either. Until one afternoon, Mr. Who returned, leading his fox soldiers. The host walked out to meet them. Reluctantly, Mr. Who stepped forward. "I've done nothing to wrong you," the host said gently. "Why all this chaos?" The fox soldiers raised their weapons, but Mr. Who raised his hand to stop them. The host approached and said, "Come inside. Let us talk like friends." Over wine and dishes of roast duck and tofu, the host spoke plainly. "Mr. Who, you're a man of reason. You know this isn't about your worth. It's about fate. My daughter is already promised to another. I can't go back on my word." Mr. Who lowered his gaze. His cheeks reddened. The host smiled. "But maybe we can still be family. We'd be honored if you'd allow your sister to marry my youngest son." Mr. Who's eyes lit up. "I do have a sister, 1 year younger than your boy. She's bright and lovely. Would you accept her?" "With joy," the host said, rising to a bow. "Now, let us put this ugliness behind us." That night there was a celebration. A banquet was held. Even the fox soldiers were served wine and meats. They sang, laughed, and drank until the candles melted low. The host asked Mr. Who, "Where do you live?" But he only smiled. Time passed. A year went by. Some whispered that the marriage proposal had been a trick. But the host held firm. He believed. Another half a year later, Mr. Who returned. "My sister is ready," he said. "Let us set a wedding date." And so, under a full moon, a line of carriages and lanterns arrived, winding through the night. The bride was beautiful, with a dowry enough to fill an entire room. And she had a special gift. She could sense the coming of famine or fortune. Thanks to her guidance, the host family flourished. Mr. Who visited often. They shared meals, jokes, and stories. The foxes and humans of Jili became family.